Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Arjun, and a few weeks ago Marvel put out a little special called Werewolf by Night, and this was something that I was looking forward to just because it felt interesting, and it's directed by Michael Giacchino, who is a music composer. So I was like, it's being directed by him. That sounds weird. So I wanted to check it out just to see what it was going to be about. So before I let you guys know what I thought about it, let me know down in the comments, what did you think about Werewolf by Night? What are your thoughts on it? If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out because it's a pretty solid little special thing. So I'd love to know your thoughts. With that said, I'm going to get started talking about it. And I thought this was a really great little thing that Marvel put out. And I think it's one of the best things they put out on Disney Plus. Now I'm going to go into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, I'd say don't watch the video because I'm going to talk about some things like that are kind of details, I guess. So do not watch the rest of this video if you have not seen Werewolf by Night. But go check it out because it is a really, really good little special thing that Marvel put out. And I think it's one of the best things put out on Disney Plus. What I really like about this special is that it kind of takes place outside of everything going on in the MCU. So it's not like really affected by it. I'm sure we're going to see these characters show up in other movies and stuff like that. But at the moment, when you're watching this little thing, when you're watching the movie, I guess, because I'm just going to call it movie just because I don't want to call it a special all the time. But when you're watching this, it just always feels like you're watching something different that's not part of the Marvel universe. There's some Easter eggs, references. Obviously, Man-Thing shows up in the movie. So I guess it kind of is like that. Like it is part of the MCU, but it's kind of loosely connected. We never really get like in other MCU movies, it's really obvious that it's connected to all the other things. But here, it doesn't feel that way. It just feels like you're watching something that's completely different. And this is also a Halloween special, so there's a few moments that were actually really dark and bloody and gory. They were never really scary, but it was pretty good just because Marvel hasn't done a lot of dark stuff in a while. I think Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the closest you could get to that. And I think this movie did a really great job of doing it because this is the first time Marvel has ever done something like that. And I'd love to see them experiment more with horror because in this little special, it actually worked out really well. I think the characters here are quite good. I really like Elsa Bloodstone. I think that's how you say her name, Elsa Bloodstone. I think she's a really cool character and I'd love to see more of her in the future. And Jake, the actual werewolf guy, is also awesome. I think just he's a character that like you're really rooting for throughout the whole thing because he starts off just really innocent and naive and he just wants to let a monster leave out of the place, the Man-Thing, obviously. So throughout the whole movie, we're rooting for him, and at the end when he turns into a monster and just starts beating up all the bad guys, I thought that was sick. I thought it was really cool. It, like I said, it gets really bloody at times, and I think that was a great thing because Marvel doesn't show a lot of blood usually, and I think the fact that they did that here, maybe they did it because it's black and white, so that might make more sense. But still, the fact that they actually experimented and did something different here, I think is actually really good. And that's kind of what Phase 4 has been mostly, just a bunch of experiments. A lot of them just didn't work for me because I don't completely love them. But I think this one is one of the ones that actually really worked and is actually really good. There's some really cool action. There's some great characters. I think the aesthetic of it is really cool. It does have kind of a vibe of like something that would come out a long time ago. It just feels like something that's like really old, although it does actually take place, I think, in the current MCU timeline. So I just thought it was great that we got something in the MCU that feels really old, but actually takes place at the same time. And just in general, the way everything played out in this, I think was really cool. The aesthetic, the vibe, the black and white nature of it. And at the end, when it turns into color, I thought that was also really cool. I don't know why that happened. I don't know what that symbolizes, I guess. But it is really cool. It was really cool to watch everything turn from black and white to actual color. And the whole stone thing, I think, just had a interesting take on it because it's a bunch of hunters that are looking for the same thing, so they have to fight each other and kind of do some things to each other that are really brutal. But when you get to the part of the movie where Elsa and Jake get captured and he turns into the monster, that's when the movie like really started to get going for me. And I know that's only like the last 10-20 minutes, but that was the payoff of everything we were building up to, so that was probably my favorite part of the whole thing. So yeah, overall, I thought Werewolf by Night was a really great special and definitely one of the best things Marvel has put out in Phase 4. So I really enjoyed it and I had a really good time watching Werewolf by Night. Alright, so I'm gonna give Werewolf by Night a B+. I had a really fun time watching this. It's one of the best things to come out of Phase 4 of the MCU, and I'd recommend it if you haven't seen it. So if you enjoyed my review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.